Yo, what's up, everybody? It's YOLO here. Have you ever wondered how you could turn your old PS2, doesn't really have any love, that's just sitting around, into a modern gaming machine? If so, and you like to play dope JRPGs like this, stick around. We'll show you how to get her cleaned up, get her looking good, and then be able to, play games without optical media. It's Stick around. I will say I do apologize though, because I am an amateur and I'm getting better at editing, but I have three different types of footage for my workbench, my phone, and then this is my main where I game or Twitch stream. So this is the end product right here. And then the other clips will be how we got here. As you can see in the background right there, it's HD loader is actually taking the Wild Arms 2 or Wild Arms 3 and ripping it. So my optical media is now going to be saved to the SSD that we put in there. So yeah, and again, that's what we'll be doing in this video, showing how to clean it up. And this thing was dirty when we first got it, and now it is like new. Alrighty. So when you begin this project, you can use the FMCB memory card, which I quick displayed, but we actually didn't need it for this one because we're going to use an SSD. So we'll begin taking it apart, the PS2, and it's pretty easy. You'll start with these 6 little rubber feet that are underneath the actual PS2. So I just used some tweezers that I had to show our screws, and they're pretty easy to get off. I was more delicate than you really need to be here. So these 2 in the middle will be plastic. So you get them all exposed, do your thing. And you can use just normal Phillips head here. I had one that was a little too small, so make it easier on yourself. Use a good, uh, appropriately sized one, and you'll get 2 of these big old screws out, okay? So don't be shocked when they're not all the same size. It's okay. It'll be fine. And we'll talk more about the FMCB card. So that's the free McBoot, which that memory card actually has software that we can put on the SSD. So you can make it easier and use the FMCB card, but if you're going to put the files on the SSD anyways, you don't need it. So that decision's up to you. If you want an easier mod, just get the FMCB and you can actually do saves on there. But we're going to use the network adapter trick, and we're going to actually put in a SATA drive. So once you get all your screws off here, you'll have access to the inside. We're showing it real time. I should speed this video up. We'll probably speed it up. But for now, you're getting the gist. We took it apart. We have our recordings done in 7 different places, so, see how it's done. But if we keep it real time, then you can do it along with me if you want. So we'll see. We're rather new to this. So you should have 2 very long ones, and you'll have 4 short ones. You'll see here, you also have where the label is. You'll have to remove that. It's going to void your warranty. Don't worry, your warranty's up, so it doesn't matter. So you can peel that off. There should be 2 more. You see there's 2 more. No, it doesn't matter right now. Okay, so you get that off. And that's showing the underside. And then to get the top off, which I guess, I don't know, we might not have needed to even do the bottom, but I was cleaning anyway, so all cleaning I do, I like to use the WD-40 contact cleaner. So that's just basically, it's fast drying alcohol. It's basically uh, very high percentage alcohol in a sprayable form. As you'll see, this guy is nasty. It's a nasty little guy. And this isn't coming off because there's two more of these plastic tabs. And so you'll see one right there. Still get it off the same way. And then there's the second. But this is all awesome because the PS2 has amazing games, and it's backwards compatible with the best system there is, the PS1. So if you love your JRPGs like me, you have all the amazing ones that are on the PS2. Then you can play all that are on the PS1. I do like the ability to rip better on the PS2 just because a lot of the discs, I don't really know any 2 disc PS2 games. Uh, Whereas on the PS1, you have multiple, like 3, 4 disc games. So get these two. You have, what, 4 total? They all come off pretty easily. My metal tweezers actually bent here while doing it. I didn't realize why I couldn't get these two easily. It's because I was scraping in there a little too much. But they come off and they're very easy to put back in. But yeah, the level of difficulty on this mod is just it's too easy. Anyone can do it if you have a PS2 laying around and you have some of your favorite games. Why not? So allow you to get them on the hard drive. You won't have to worry about your laser disc failing. And the the laser actually on this one was really bad to begin with. Uh, as you can see, the entire PS2 is very, very, very filthy. And after cleaning it, the for burning or ripping my PS2 games, I had no issues afterwards, but it was a struggle to get going. So here it'll flip off, it'll kind of flip to the side. Just be careful because that's your power cable, and that will you can actually like unclip that from the side so it's not stuck together like that. So it's me just making room till I realize you can take those buttons out. It's just one little piece. The capacitors in mine actually looked pretty good. They weren't leaking or bulging. If you were having like a blown capacitor, I mean, if it was blown, it wouldn't be working. But if it was like starting to leak or you're having issues, you could sort of where you could take the board apart more and actually replace that capacitor. There's going to be 4 screws for this. Actually, there might be 5. Once you get this off, this is going to expose your actual disk drive. And it kind of clicks into place, so you'll know when it's on, but as you can see, it's filthy. This one is a mess as well. And there's no surprise that that eye on that laser is probably caked. You can see inside the fan, disgusting. Absolutely filthy. I was shocked by how messy this thing actually was. So what I'm going to end up doing here is just giving this thing a quick clean. I'll kind of like tip it to the side and use that WD-40 contact cleaner, and I'll tilt it a bit just so it kind of drips down. But we're going to clean the heck out of it and then let it dry for a while before actually getting to work on the other parts. But this stuff is all, make sure you unplug everything. You're not going to have power running through this. Make sure, just be smart with it. Unplug your system, power it off, make sure it's, there's not enough time for any electrical charge to be going through it. You hit the power button a couple times if you're worried about a little bit of electricity built up. But this thing, I just made sure it worked, made sure it ran. The disc worked about 1 in like 15 times. And I said, okay, we're going to pop it open. We're going to clean it. This is going to be our project one. So we'll get some of the thick stuff out here. You just see it's nasty. Camera doesn't really show it, but it's pretty yunked. It's pretty brown built up on there. Yeah, we get it. There we go. So definitely, you can go heavy on it. Like a lot of these, especially if you find one, say you find one in a yard sale, or you find someone, you have these eBay shops where people find them and they're just flipping them. I mean, you can really, really go pretty heavy with the alcohol, break up that gunk in there. And that's what we'll end up doing, is literally going to keep it up there on the side, and then we're going to get it. But yeah, you wouldn't believe, like, I do my best to show it, but this thing was filthy. Like, the controllers were nasty. We go over quickly the controllers, how to take them apart and clean them. But then once you get to this part, now I start to take this apart. You don't need to, because I bought one that was already SATA. If you have one of the old school ones, they're IDE, so you would have to do a little fix on your own. But yeah, all this is actually unnecessary. You don't need to take it apart. If you have a SATA one, which you can see in the bottom right that this is SATA. I didn't realize. I started filming. I decided to keep it to show, because someone else might not know. If you watch some of these older mods, they have the IDE ones where you actually have to solder or do a little bit of soldering to put a SATA connection on there, which I had bought, but I didn't realize that this GameStar adapter was already set up, so it was already perfect. And yeah, so this is totally unnecessary. If you have an IDE one, it'll look similar, but it would have the IDE connectors. You would have to take the back off and then you would use another like board to attach a SATA connector. So I'm going to take it apart and realize afterwards, hey, that wasn't necessary. And we had trouble with these two screws. I guess I did put the whole recording of this in. I thought I trimmed this one down. but oh well. So I'll have a aha moment where I notice and I'm like, wait a minute, why do I need to put a new connector on this if it's already SATA? And you don't. You don't need to. But we're learning here. We're learning together. We're new to the tech stuff. So get one of these, make it easy on yourself. They're a lot newer. I don't even know the old ones are probably more expensive to get anyways. So there you go. You can see the circuit board. It's already set up. So the old one, you see that bottom piece, how it's two boards. That's where you would change it. I think there's a Molex connector too. So if you were going to do some fan work, I originally was going to change out the old fan. It would help there, but I ended up just keeping the stock fan. Yeah. So here I realized I'm like, shit. Didn't need to do that. Let's put it back. Let's put it together. So you can see here, you can see the connection, the SATA on the bottom, and then the connector for the actual, where the network adapter would go. The top part goes into the PS2, and then you can just put any drive in there. I used a 2.5 SSD, which we'll see shortly. So yeah, there's the very old drive I've had laying around, perfect for this. Not used very much. It'll just go right in there. And you could design 3D print something to hold it, but honestly, it's just going to go in there and sit in there. It'll be fine. I've had no issues so far. And then once you have the adapter in there, there's two screws to connect it, but I waited to the end to really tighten these in because I wasn't sure what would be working, what wouldn't be if we had to take it back apart. So yeah, once you have that in there, now you have a hard drive. Now you have an SSD just to save your Rift games onto for your PlayStation. Okay, so the memory card, we ended up using it. You can put all this, the FMCB, you can put it on your hard drive. What is it? FHDB. But the memory card's easy, so you can use this combination to have you can save the games on your hard drive, like the actual whole games, and then you can have the software on the memory card. That works too. I mean, it might be easier for a lot of people, but you can pretty easily get the software onto your hard drive. I didn't show how to do it here, but there's plenty of videos out there. I pretty much just did 2 steps. Some people don't even use the hard drive, they just use the memory card. So there's Dragon Quest 8. And I do some tests here. Make sure the top part where that disc reader is nice and tight, because mine made some weird ass noises. I would actually screw it in to make sure it's very secure, because mine scared me a bit. If you're like me and you have some of these games that are classics to you, you don't you really don't want to hear some of the noises. My discs ended up being okay, but keep that in mind. So once you get it all back together, this is what you'll start to be looking at. Nothing like the original. Sleek, clean. We got our hard drive. We got our FMCB card. You know, it's still a little scratched up, but it adds character. Hey everyone, I do want to take this time to acknowledge that, yeah, so because of my amazing recording and editing videos, we did miss out a lot. So I kind of want to just show you at the end here. When you're setting up, so this is what you'll look like in the end. We got our nice, sexy new guy here, and we got our little 480p setup. The free McBoot, what it's gonna look like is it's gonna replace your main screen like this, okay? So it's gonna look different. It's gonna be confusing because there's gonna be a lot of options here, but really, all you need is this ULaunch ELF and really the HD loader. So your ULaunch ELF is where you're gonna set up everything, and you can go in here and you can actually just format your hard drive. So I'm not gonna do it because mine is already format, but we'll go through the steps. It's really hard to see here, but you'll have this set up, and the very first one is going to say file browser. It'll be right at the top. You'll hit just be aware of your controls on this because it's going to be a little different. Your circle is your main like X button. So you circle, you go to file browser, you'll have like up here it's going to have a list of all your files. So MC0, MC1, that's memory card. So you'll be able to see your free McBoot card. You'll see that one in MC0. And then if you go down, you'll have like HDD. So you'll have all this, and you can go in here. You can hit OK. It's going to load your HDD module, okay? And then from there is where you can go into your settings, okay? So you have all kinds of stuff here. You go to the menu. I believe it's R1 menu. Yeah, I think mine looks different now because we already set it up. But there's going to be an option to get it formatted, okay? And I know it doesn't help as much now that it's after the fact, but you'll be able to go in here and there's going to be an option to format it, and that's what you'll do. And it's just going to format, it's going to delete everything. So if you have anything on there, make sure you obviously don't need it because it's going to be gone. And yeah, and then so if you go into the MC0, that is going to be your actual the memory card. So that's what's on there. Okay, so you hit triangle, you go up. To get out of here, I'm sure there's a better way. It says select to exit, but then you go back here. So I don't know. I just restart it. So you restart your PlayStation. It's gonna load up like normal, right? It'll load up like normal if you actually turn it on. So you get your free McBoot. That's gonna come on there. And the next important thing that you're gonna want to know is your HD loader. So your HD loader is where you can come in here, and this is where you take your old media. So if you're like me, you have all your old JRPGs, right? You'll come in here. I have Dragon Quest VIII, Final Fantasy X, and Wild Arms 3. All you'll do is you'll go to install first. It's going to tell you to put the disc in. You put the disc in. It's going to analyze it, and it's going to rip it there, and then you'll have it. It takes a while, but you can do it all straight from here. Once you have it done, say you want to play Wild Arms 3, you can play it straight from here, and that's what I do. So once I'm all set up, the only thing I ever use after is the HD loader. I come in here, I play my games. If you're into using, so you know, 480p is good for the PlayStation. You can usually find cheap 480p smaller TVs. So, and there you go. You can't see it, but that's Wild Arms 3. And yeah, so we'll do better in the future. We'll get better at editing, make some more cohesive videos. But we'll do some NES, Game Gear, GameCube, you know. And peace, much love, until next time.